Is more than just stocks plunging. It's also a plunge in confidence for Americans. The sweeping tariffs sent shockwaves today through markets around the world. The Dow plunging 1,679 points, or nearly 4%. The Nasdaq down more than 1,000 points, or nearly 6%.
The S&P 500 falling 270 points, or nearly 5%. It was the biggest one-day loss on the S&P since June of 2020. The new tariffs not only hitting stock owners hard, but they also mean a jump in prices for consumers on everything from coffee and food to cars and cell phones and computers and toys. This at a time when budgets of many Americans are already maxed out.
This will affect just about everyone. Eyewitness News anchor Mike Marza on Wall Street tonight with our lead story. Mike.
Bill and Liz, so many staggering out here, just people trailing out of Wall Street this afternoon as the closing bell told these big losses, the big sell-offs, triggering fears of a global recession. But, you know, we were all fixated on that big board. You mentioned the Dow down quadruple digits today, but it is the small board, if you will, as you're sitting around your dining room table tonight, looking at your bank account, figuring out how are you going to pay for food that is now going up in cost? And then if you need a car part, a transmission or brakes just to get to work on your car. So yes, as the saying goes, what happens here on Wall Street is soon being felt on your street. At this auto parts store in West New York, the tariffs' teeth are already taking a bite out of business. The parts come from a U.S. company, but made in other countries, like Mexico. And a new 25% tariff on foreign cars and car parts took effect today, so prices are going up for the owner.
I don't know what to expect. I simply know that they're going to go up. To what extent? Wait and see.
And that means customers are paying more too.
We know that they'll very likely pass some of those costs at a minimum off to consumers. The question is, how will the business fare in the meantime?
Hours after what the president dubbed as Liberation Day, a disaster for global markets. The Dow plunging more than 1,500 at one point. The worst day for the U.S. stock market since March 2020.
The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom.
President Trump shrugging off the losses.
It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it.
Virtually all countries will face a 10% tariff. Some of America's closest trading partners will face even steeper levies, a 20% on products from the European Union, 34% on products from China.
He's now declared a war, and every action has an opposite reaction. And so we're going to see now some really bad things start happening as the president continues with this dire, bad policy.
And in Rutherford, New Jersey, this appliance store is bracing for the heat of the summer, hoping not to get burned by this new policy.
We've had a lot of people that are buying not necessarily because they have to get it right now, but they are afraid of the tariffs.
And so the question as investors return tomorrow is what happens? Where is the bottom to this market? How low will it go? And then the political appetite for these new tariffs. You're already hearing some rumblings in the Republican Party, wondering how long it's going to take and what President Trump will do if these massive sell-offs continue. Of course, we know the midterms are next year, and a lot of people eyeing how this potentially could impact those races. Bill and Liz, we'll send it back to you.
The jobless report comes out tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how that impacts Wall Street as well. All right, Mike, thank you very much. We're going to